You are listening to Herbal Marie, a podcast about herbs and home remedies to heal yourself. All advice shall be considered suggestions. Please research all herbs before using and discover ways to feel better and be well. Shout out to my sponsor. What's up, Anchor Radio? If you haven't heard about Anchor yet, let me tell you, this is how I'm able to pimp out the herbs. Anchor is a free app that allows me and you to create a podcast where you have all your creation tools. It's so easy. They publish your podcast for you. They put it on all the platforms. I've made a little bit of money and I have everything I need to make a podcast in one place. And you can too. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Thank you for joining Herbal Marie on this herbal adventure. Together, we are exploring each card of the Herbal Tarot deck by Michael Tierra and Candace Canton. As stated in their wonderful book, The Spirit of Herbs, the Herbal Tarot is a useful introduction to the art of herbalism, as well as to the mysticism of the tarot. The symbolism of these beautiful cards offers us understanding on so many levels about the healing messages of our plant friends and how these plant beings can be teachers and healers of body, mind, and spirit. The tarot helps us to see the greater truths and guidance that dwells within our own heart space, that we can call upon for greater balance, helping us take responsibility for our own lives and creations. Through its symbols, our own inner knowing and understanding are revealed. Today, we are going to focus on one card of the Herbal Tarot and its featured herb. We will talk about its spiritual and medicinal properties, the dose and preparation. We'll talk about the key words and meaning of the card, along with its herbal allies. Then we will end the podcast with an affirmation. An affirmation is a vibrational prayer said over and over again each day so that a more positive and healing energy can be manifested for body, mind, and spirit. So, are you ready to explore and expand? Great. Let's connect with the Herbal Tarot. Today, we are talking about the tarot card, the High Priestess. The featured herb that we are going to get to know better is peony. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. We're talking about the High Priestess today, and I couldn't be more excited because it just feels right to talk about some tarot today. It's a full moon. It's been rainy. It's really kind of cozy. I have my Egyptian mint tea beside me. And looking at the High Priestess, it just sort of fits. Absolutely. So this is our third episode. We did the Fool. Just to recap, we did the Fool, and then we did the Magician, which was all about outwardly physical manifestation. Well, now today with the High Priestess, we're going to go inward. The High Priestess is all about that subconscious inner wisdom, that intuition, that divine feminine stuff. So I just really feel like we've kind of I guess the word I'm looking for is graduated off of the Fool. And if you listen to that, you'll know why. I'm really glad to be done with that. The Magician. But now we're going to go inward. Now we're going to access that divine feminine, and having it on a full moon evening is just absolutely perfect. So thank you so very much for joining me. So this is a beautiful card. If you have the deck, you can pull out the card and have a look with me. We are looking at the High Priestess. And it's such a cool card, you guys. She's amazing. You can just feel her confidence radiating off of this card. She is dressed in blue. She has a blue dress, a blue veil. Her eyes are veiled, so it looks like she's kind of meditating. She is holding the moon, perhaps. She's got her foot on a crescent moon, and her crown is, I believe, the crown of Isis or maybe Hathor, the Egyptian goddess Hathor. So cheers to that, since I have the Egyptian mint tea beside us. She is sitting between two pillars, one of light color and one of a darker color. And so she's sort of this balanced individual between the two pillars. And then the best part is there's the peony flowers kind of like up front, right? So it's a beautiful pink peony flower, one of my favorite flowers. They're just starting to emerge right now. So amazing. So this is the High Priestess. I'm like super stoked to dive in and just kind of see what it's all about. I don't even have an embarrassing story to go with this podcast. Thank God. Thank Goddess. I really am just sort of like sitting with this energy of the High Priestess and kind of enjoying it. I think that is I would say, where we all want to be kind of like headed in our life journey, in our tarot journey, into that state of being knowing in ourself and being confident and just having, she is the type of presence that you want to be able to tap into. So anyways, let's get into it. So in my research for the High Priestess, I found out that it is a very psychic card. And it's all about inner wisdom. The High Priestess is the guardian of the subconscious, and she is encapsulating divine feminine energy. So in a tarot reading, if you get this card upright in your tarot reading, it's telling you to pay attention to your own intuition. You really want to trust your gut because you know what is right for you. So this could be a validation of your self-confidence to receive it in a reading or a suggestion to take time to seclude yourself and go within. It may also indicate that you have a very intuitive teacher or woman in your life or soon to be. When you receive the High Priestess card, I feel like it's saying that your third eye is opening and encouraging you to keep your channel open. Keep the ideas and inspiration from the subconscious flowing in to you. Now, if you get the High Priestess reversed, it's telling you to take a second look and see what lies beneath the surface. Everything might not be as it seems. If you receive the High Priestess reversed, it's basically calling you out that you are not listening to your intuition and that you need to acknowledge your repressed emotions. So when you get it reversed, it's just saying, please listen to your own wisdom, not other people, because you may have a female friend who is actually kind of an enemy. Okay, if you get the High Priestess in reverse, it could be alerting you of a frenemy. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to what is inside of you. And if you're feeling passive, that is an indication for you to start to take action with your own intuition. Yeah, see, I told you. She is an amazing card. Like, I love the look of this card. It's so beautiful and powerful at the same time. All right, so let's dive into the Spirit of Herbs on page 26. She's number 2, the High Priestess. And yeah, the flower that we're going to talk about is Peony, Paeonia albiflora. The High Priestess is ruled by the moon. And it reads, the High Priestess embodies the pure power of the feminine, receptive principle. She is in touch with the universal mind. She has had many names in her past, and at one point was none other than the ancient Egyptian goddess Isis, who was able to give life to the god Osiris after his death. Thus, around her neck is the sacred Ankh, the key of life. So yeah, I forgot to mention that she is wearing an Ankh around her neck, and like traditional tarot cards, I think they're usually wearing a cross. So I thought this was awesome to look at it from a different perspective and put the Ankh on her, the key of life. So the Spirit of Herbs goes on to say, she was also the Virgin Mary, who contained within herself the seed of spirit to be manifested on earth. When you look at the picture, you see her left foot rests on the crescent moon, symbolizing her dominion of and oneness with inner reflection and the natural cycles of life. Enthroned between the two pillars of light and dark, she is in a state of silent equilibrium. With a veil over her eyes, she is mute, looking within to the subconscious. In other words, to the consciousness that resides behind all the outer manifestations. She knows there is a uniting consciousness behind all aspects of life. The blue color of her garment and the clouds in the sky are indicative of the watery element over which she reigns. Water is the source of life, in that it contains all the thoughts and substances needed for life's expression. Yeah, water is life, yo. So through our own inner high priestess, we are able to tap into our potential and our potential creativity, and are better able to understand how all aspects of our life are united. So I love it. So we've all got an inner high priestess. That's good news. And, then we're going to be able to look at the outside world and see how everything's connected, and just kind of be able to tap into our own inner knowing, our balanced equilibrium, and just, our psychic gifts that we're all born with, which is just basic intuition. Everybody's got that. So yeah, I love the High Priestess. I love it. I absolutely do. Okay, so let's move on here. I'm totally like swooning for the High Priestess. And that's actually how the peony flower makes me feel too, interestingly enough. Like when I smell a peony flower, and you too, I'm guessing, isn't it the best? I mean, I can just like shove my face in that flower, like shamelessly, just to get a good lasting sniff of it. It's just amazing. It smells like no other. One year I really wanted to try to capture the peony essence, and I tried putting it in a vodka to try to see if I could get that smell in there. And I did it for a couple years in a row to try to make like a perfume. Well, I didn't really succeed, but when they do bloom, I take time in that present moment to just love up the peony completely. Okay, so moving on to the featured herb today, which is peony root. So we're going to talk about the root, even though I'm just obsessed with the flower. It's so beautiful. We're going to talk about peony root, which is the herb of inner knowing. The herb of inner knowing. So the spiritual properties of the peony root is that it helps to foster and harmonize the feminine energy within. It allows the circulation of our subconscious to flow and move, thus enabling us to get in touch with our essential nature. Through its relaxing, anti-spasmodic action, a sense of ease permeates one's being as one explores these realms. So this is really interesting. I have not ever dug up my peony roots. I'd have to check, make sure I have the right ones. I don't even know if I'd want to do that. Maybe I'll just order these from a Chinese medicine shop. But anyways, how interesting to use the root. According to the Spirit of Herbs, a woman who uses this herb on a regular basis will learn how to accept and work with the metamorphosis she goes through from childhood, puberty, motherhood, menopause, and then the wise crone. The beautiful peony flower has a vibration of softness, yet deep vitality, which is indicative of the basic yin or feminine energy from which all of life receives its foundation. So the spiritual properties also lists that meditations with the flower or with a picture of the flower can help one to embrace the high priestess within. And men who are yearning to understand their softer, intuitive sides may partake in this wonderful herb as well. So the spiritual properties basically are connecting us with the feminine energy, help move the subconscious, allow it to flow, and let us get in touch with our essential nature. And just helps, I guess, relax and, go with the flow from all of our different stages in life. All right, let's look at the medical properties now. The medicinal properties. Peony root is commonly used in Chinese herbalism. Yeah, because that's where I'm gonna order mine if I ever try it. I'm not gonna dig up the yard. Okay, focus. Hocus pocus focus. Peony root is commonly used in Chinese herbalism together with other female herb tonics such as dong quai, false unicorn root, and raspberry leaf. Yay! One of our favorites, raspberry leaf. So they use them along with these other female herb tonics to strengthen those aspects of the blood and female hormones necessary for the monthly cycle, puberty, menopause, and fertility in women. Peony is also used for men and women with hypertension and feelings of anxiety, frustration, and extreme anger, which often accompany cardiac abnormalities. If peony is consumed for a long period of time, it is said to add vigor to the body, lengthen life, restore and balance the liver, and make the skin radiant and beautiful. Dang, maybe I am going to dig up the yard. Did you know that the root would be good for all of that? I mean, we just really look at peony as a beautiful flower and not even like give it a second thought, what she can do for us. We're just like so busy appreciating her and her amazing smell. So let's talk about the dose and preparation. Okay, so the Spirit of Herbs says carrying a piece of the root, like carrying the piece of the peony root in a pouch, will remind the wearer to be in tune with their inner knowing. Growing a peony plant in the garden can be very fulfilling as well. Each year in the spring, it will renew itself and bring forth beautiful blooms. There are many colors of peony, so one may want to decide which one to grow for color therapy. So you could choose white for purity of spirit, pink for healing the heart, or red for invigorating courage to seek inner visions. For medicinal uses, 4 pieces of peony root and 1 piece of Chinese licorice root may be boiled in 2 cups of water for 15 minutes. Drink 1 cup 2 times per day. Peony can be purchased from Chinese herb stores. The root slices are white with a very light pinkish hue in them. Many Chinese formulas, such as Women's Precious Pills and Planetary Formulas Women's Treasure, include peony. So yeah, Chinese herbalism is using the peony root, and with really good reason. If it helps calm you down, if it helps balance, I don't know, I really like that it would help with anxiety and frustration and extreme anger. Yeah, I like that. And just, it's kind of like a tonic, keeps the body energetic, and it helps the liver. That was awesome. And having the skin be radiant and beautiful. Peony truly is an asset to the ladies and the men too. So yeah, peony root, the herb of inner knowing. I just love this so much. All right, so let's recap here. So the High Priestess, number 2 in the major arcana, I don't know, you tell me. Remember, all the herbs in the major arcana represent the greater path of spirit. So these are really powerful plants. They're going to help aid our souls to reach awakening and realization. So peony is the herb of intuition, and it's antispasmodic. It's an emmenagogue. Peony is commonly used in gynecology. And the root promotes internal circulation and relieves spasms. So it's ruled by the moon, and we can use it during our moon time. If we're having, cramps, I think it would probably help ease up those cramps and allow nature to flow. So it's symbolically used for tension, nervousness, worry, holding back to the detriment of one's self-expression. And anyone who has a tendency to menstrual cramps, this is for you. Divinatory meanings, it's all about the intuition, mystery, inability to express oneself outwardly. The High Priestess is about inner knowledge, wisdom. the yin or feminine principle, beauty and grace. And if you would get her reversed, it could be talking about your shyness or being timid, your inhibitions, your lack of self-esteem, amongst other things. So yeah, like if we don't have peony, the herbal allies are rose and hibiscus. So if you want to connect with that high priestess energy through botanical means and you don't have peony, roses are good and hibiscus as well. So I just love this. I love learning more about tarot and the high priestess. And the key words with this card, if you're learning along with me, is exploring the subconscious. If we get the high priestess, or if it's just even resonating with us now, she's kind of telling us to look for the why behind the manifestations. You know, connect with your inner knowing, embrace the mystery and the wisdom, your wisdom. So this is the yin principle of the self. It's all about feminine beauty and grace. And it definitely can be about shyness and holding back. So the high priestess tells us that we need to let go of tension and nervousness. And we need to pay attention to the cycles of life. And we need to listen to our own intuition, our own gut feelings, and our own knowingness. Of course, I just love that like she really actually could just represent moodiness too, because it is a full moon. I don't know if you're feeling it, but I have definitely been. So thank you so much for joining me and the High Priestess in the Herbal Tarot and the Spirit of Herbs. We're going to end this podcast with the affirmation of the High Priestess. I'll read it to you now, and then we'll center ourselves and we'll say it 3 times together. The affirmation is, I open my heart to the answers that lie within me. I see the perfection and unity of all things. Let's take a deep breath and center ourselves. I open my heart to the answers that lie within me. I see the perfection and unity of all things. I open my heart to the answers that lie within me. I see the perfection and unity of all things. I open my heart to the answers that lie within me. I see the perfection and unity of all things. And so it is. Thanks again for joining me on this Herbal Tarot adventure. And much love and many thanks to Michael Tierra and Candace Canton for creating these beautiful cards. You can definitely enhance your fun by owning your own copy of the Herbal Tarot and its book, The Spirit of Herbs. And you can purchase the deck, the whole set, the book and the deck directly from the East-West School of Planetary Herbology by visiting them at planetherbs.com. That's planetherbs.com. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks for listening. Support this podcast by becoming a patron. You'll gain access to PDF downloads and Herb Nerd notes. Visit herbalmarie.com and become a patron today.